Job hunting feels rigged. You're told there's this invisible gatekeeper, an AI system filtering you out. You see this on Reddit, you see this on LinkedIn. Most people believe it. Almost no one questions whether it's actually true. We did. And what we found might change how you think about your resume. If you've ever applied for a job online, you've probably heard it. The ATS automatically rejects your resume. It's a catchy story. There's a problem, a villain and the good guy selling you the cure. Be it hacks, courses, or strategies. But here's the thing, ATS do not reject resumes. People do.
On LinkedIn, I've seen it on Reddit, I've seen it in blog posts. You just hear that from people who are misinformed and don't understand how recruiting is.
So where did this idea even come from? That robots are rejecting everyone's resumes? The truth is that claim was never backed by any real research. It just spread online and stuck. We wanted to set the record straight, so we asked the people who actually use these systems. 25 recruiters from tech, healthcare, and finance. What really happens after you hit apply? 92% said the same thing. The ATS sorts and filters, but people make the calls. Automatic filters do exist, but only when recruiters deliberately set them up. They're not rejecting resumes for formatting. They're screening for basic requirements. Things like, do you have a valid license? Or are you authorized to work in the US?
Most companies are not going to do that because they don't want to miss out on somebody that is qualified.
And that ATS also sort of scans through the skills, but it sort of tells me that the candidate is 64% match for the job or 80% match for the job. And there's the skills that it lacks or there's the experience that it lacks, but it never auto-rejects.
But no, I don't tend to rely on that always.
Okay.
Just like I don't always tend to rely on the brief qualification questions because job seekers don't always, because ATS systems can be unwieldy and frustrating, and it's just what you are given with and what you have to roll with.
In other words, the ATS isn't deleting you. It's sorting your resume so recruiters can find the right people faster. So where did the whole robots reject your resume thing start? Well, 68% of recruiters told us they first heard it from job seekers online. Another 20% blamed career coaches or resume blogs recycling old advice. A few had not even heard the myth until we brought it up.
I've seen a couple of articles that people have posted on MSNBC or Yahoo when they're again trying to sell a service or something or promote themselves, and it's I can teach you how to beat the ATS. I'm no, you can't.
This myth survives because the truth hurts. Getting ghosted by a recruiter feels personal, and blaming a machine is easier. If your resume disappears into silence, it's not because the software deleted you, it's because humans can only do so much in a 40-hour work week.
And as a recruiter, we scan a resume for maybe 6 seconds. And, just depending on the time, maybe, of 100 applicants, we look at 15, and of the 15, they all look good. We push them through, and then you're not accounting for the, X amount that have applied that maybe are a great fit.
Entry-level roles can get 400 applicants. Remote jobs? Over 1,000. One recruiter told us they hit 2,000 in 1 week. Half of recruiters screen in the first 3 days, apply a week later, and the interviews are already booked. You're not losing to an algorithm, you're losing to someone who is faster. Alright, let's speedrun the greatest urban legends. Myth 1, the ATS always rejects resumes missing keywords. Not exactly. Some systems can filter out resumes that miss required skills or certifications, but it only happens if recruiters set those filters on purpose. In most cases, keywords just help your resume show up in searches. Myth 2, AI rejects candidates automatically.
Yeah, if we can trust it, then we would do all our filters that way and just say, okay, what's the AI telling us? Who's an A? And definitely start there and move people forward. But for now, I think it's still learning. At least that's what they tell us. And so there's not a huge trust factor. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not.
So most ATS systems aren't half as smart as people think. They sort applications. They don't decide who gets hired. Myth 3, a rejection means the system filtered you out. Usually it means no one saw you. Visibility beats compliance every time. So if it's not about hacking the ATS, what does actually work?
I think not having a busy resume, I see a lot of resumes that are over formatted, and like our ATS, especially if they upload a Word doc versus a PDF, it can construe the formatting. So then I have to download it to make sure, what it looks like there.
92% of recruiters want a clear structure. 88% want relevant skills and experience, and not one of them asked for a secret keyword formula.
Okay, I love ChatGPT, not hating on you for using it, but give it that human eye, give it that once over, make sure what you're putting is accurate.
Recruiters aren't looking for tricks. They're looking for resumes they can read and trust. Clear structure, relevant skills, real results. Only 2 recruiters out of 25 said their ATS can auto-reject resumes. The rest reviewed them manually until the inbox overflows. When that happens, it's not the algorithm standing in your way, it's getting seen by a human. So write for one. That's what Enhansive is built for. Not to beat the system, but to make your story easy for people to read.
As one of the people who started Enhansive, I've seen firsthand how much confusion there is around the ATS systems. And of course, we care about how they work. But we've never built Enhansive to just get past the filter. Our goal has always been to help people catch the attention of the human behind the system. We're not a huge company, and that's our strength. We can listen, we can adapt, and create something that truly works for real candidates and real recruiters.
Enhansive. Stop trying to beat the ATS. Win the human.